What's up, Easy Bakers? So today we're gonna be making some nice fudgy brownies, honey, but from the box. If you haven't already, follow me on Instagram at Daverney Freeman. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that beautiful red button right here and subscribe. So now let's go ahead and get into this video. Now for this recipe, I will be using Betty Crocker's Supreme Triple Chunk, okay? So before I do anything, I preheat my oven to whatever they say preheat your oven to, and I grease my pan generously. Whether I'm making from scratch brownies or I'm using box brownies, I'll grease my pan, honey. So you want to take some butter and just grease the parchment paper, put another parchment paper over that to overlap it, and grease it too, because you want to just be able to pick it up. Now let's get ready with the batter. So just like you do with any box brownie mix, you're just gonna go ahead and just dump the flour into a large bowl, and instead of oil, I'm going to be using some butter. I have used the same amount of butter that it calls for on the back of the box. I melted that down and I put this into my batter. Of course, y'all know me, I'm gonna use that rubber spatula and I'm gonna get everything, honey, out of that bowl. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get my egg. One thing a tip that you guys can do when you're trying to incorporate an egg, go ahead and whisk it up very slightly so it could be easier to incorporate. I notice people put those whole eggs in there and they can't really mix it up, so their brownies become a little tough, and we don't want that. And definitely gonna use some whole milk instead of water, because it just give it a nice little fluffiness. I'm going to take my rubber spatula. I am not using a hand mixer for this. I'm just using a rubber spatula, and I'm just going to go ahead and fold that stuff in until I want to add my walnuts. Now, what I think the key is to not over mix it. When you still see a little bit of flour in there, then you add all that extra shabak. You know what I'm saying? You don't wait until it's all mixed up to add it, because then you gotta keep mixing. No, girl, when you see a little bit of flour left, that's when you start to add all of that extra. Some people like to add some potato chips to their batter. Some people add chocolate chip cookies. I actually like to add some chocolate chip cookies as well as pretzels, but this is just gonna be a regular schmeckler jaggler. Then once it get like that, I go ahead and scoop it into my 8x8 baking sheet. I am using an 8x8 pan because I like a thick brownie. Just like I'm thicker than a Snickers, boo, I like a thick old brownie, baby. So you're gonna do that, then you're gonna pop that thing in that oven, girl. And I personally like to smooth it out just a little bit, especially when you're using parchment paper. But yeah, go ahead and stick it in the oven for whatever time that box tell you to do. Every oven is different, so you definitely want to go ahead and insert a toothpick just to check to see if it's done. If it is not done, stick it back in the oven for 3 to 5 intervals, taking it out just to check it to make sure it's done until it's done. Once it's done, you're gonna wait till it cools to touch, take it out of that pan, and get ready to cut it. I did cut these brownies a little earlier than what I should have cut them, because they were still warm. You want them to be cool, but girl, I got places to do, people to see things. People want this like they gonna be warm today. And another tip, if you want some pretty looking brownies, you want to clean your knife, girl, after each slice. You see how I'm trying to clean my knife after each slice? Then it got a little redundant. I'm like, girl, oh, whatever. But at first I was like, oh, let's let these brownies be pretty, but the people that's finna eat them don't give two hawk-schnosh about how these brownies look, honey, okay? So you do want to try to clean your knife off after each little clut, if you want them to be a little pretty. Girl, when I tell you I do not know how to make things look even, look at me. Why am I cutting this other row? Like, for what, Daverney? Probably because I want to make myself a little piece. You know when you want to cut yourself a little piece and you like, well, let me just get the corner, honey. Me trying to be slick. You know I ate all three of that was mine. Them 3 slices, them was mine. But look at my brownies, baby. They all good. Chocolate and fudgy and pussy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I definitely appreciate you. And I will talk to you on my next video. Let me know what y'all want to see how to make next.